In next segment tonight, controversy in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The police chief there, Cameron McClay, was asked by an anti-police protester to hold up that sign. And the chief obviously complied. Some folks say that was disrespectful to his own department. We asked Chief McClay to appear with us this evening. He declined, but joining us now from Pittsburgh, the mayor of that city, Bill Peduto. So you're supporting the chief here, right, Mr. Mayor? What do you think that sign meant? What do you think that sign meant?
Well, I think it talked about two different issues that are both related. The first is that a belief that all of us can do whatever it is within our own power to eradicate racism. And whether it's a police chief, a mayor, a corporate CEO, a minister, we all have a responsibility to do that. And the second one with the hashtag End White Silence basically goes to what I believe to be a truth that for many white people, including myself, talking about race issues is sometimes difficult.
All right, so people are afraid to address them at one layer. But in the context of what's happening in America, particularly here in New York City, where some politicians, the mayor of this city, de Blasio, have kind of demonized the police, and in the context that a lot of the protesters are calling for violence against the police and saying, you know, generally they're all racist, the system's racist. Was it really wise for the police chief of Pittsburgh to do that? Now, I don't think he had an ill intent. I don't. But I don't think it was the smartest thing, and I think it might demoralize his department a bit.
Well, I would argue the other way. I actually think that right now what's needed is open, honest dialogue. I don't know of one problem that any of us face, either personally or systematic problems, that isn't addressed by first having an open and honest dialogue.
Okay, but you don't believe that the Pittsburgh Police Department, generally speaking, is racist, do you?
No, not at all.
And your administration, you're a Democrat. Certainly you don't believe your administration is racist, do you?
No, but I do believe that there's power that I have as an elected official, and there's powers that a police chief has in order to up the dialogue, in order to be able to say to people, yes, we're listening. I think that why a lot of people gravitated to that photo in a positive way was for so many people, they see white politicians or white police chiefs and they say they're just not listening. I think by having that photo being seen by people, it starts a dialogue that takes us away from the polarizing debate that's already happening.
Isn't it possible, though, that a police chief holding up a sign like that could engender a witch hunt? Again, I think your motives and I think the chief's motives are good. I understand that you guys are trying to send a message that if there is a problem, and there if is a key word there, we want to talk about it, we want to hear your concerns. And I think that's good. But there's a witch hunt aspect to this. Because, you know, there are charlatans and provocateurs that run around pointing your finger. You're a racist. I've been accused of being a racist, I think, every hour on the hour. Okay? You're a racist. You say this. You criticize this. You're a racist. Blah, 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 blah. And I think there's a danger there.
Well, there is. There's a danger almost any action you take, especially when you enter into issues that are controversial. But there's also an opportunity, and that's what we're trying to do. Our goal is to mend the relationship between the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police and the community.
Does it need to be mended?
It does. There's been a past history that has taken it to levels that have both demoralized the rank and file and at the same time broken the communication between our black community and our police force. So we're trying to run both tracks at the same time. It's sort of difficult, but the nice thing about Pittsburgh, it's a small enough city with only 900 officers that you can work on it on an individual basis.
And you have things that bind you together, the Steelers and the sports teams. And
we're not talking about the Steelers this week.
Look, but it's a franchise that is a perennial, and that everybody gets together. You go to the games. I've been there. I've seen it. They're all...
They come out to the community. They help us with these type of things, too.
And
and that's the goal.
Okay.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, though.
Because
what you're saying is he took a risk.
You got to be careful.
And if it's taken the wrong way...
He's got to tell his guys that he doesn't think that department's racist. And those guys got to be reassured as well, putting their lives on the line. Hey, Mr. Mayor, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill.
Plenty more As a Fact and Moves along.